Thank you for purchasing your GoVelo from GoPowerBikes. In today's video, we're going to teach you how to put your GoVelo together. Now, we understand you are probably very excited to get out there and ride around, but we're going to go through the full assembly process to make sure your bike is put together correctly. And stay tuned because there's going to be some quick tips showing you how to get out on the road and ride your bike as soon as possible. The first thing we need to do is open the box. You probably could have guessed that, but that is step number 1. Make sure to save your box and packing material and recycle those according to local rules and regulations. Once the box is open, inspect it to make sure that everything looks good. Next, we'll remove the packaging material and the box that has all the accessories in it. Then it's time to take the bike out of the box. Now, we use magic to get the bike out of the box in this video, but we recommend getting a friend to help you remove the bike from the box. The first step is going to be removing the front wheel from the frame. After that, we can remove all of the packaging material. Now that we've removed all the packaging material, let's go ahead and open up the accessory box and see what's inside. Inside the box, you'll find 2 pedals, one labeled for the left side and one labeled for the right side, your GoVelo owner's manual, a spare key, all of the tools that you'll need for assembly, the front fork quick release skewer, a charger, a mountable bike lock, a phone holder, a kickstand, the saddle, and a rear reflector. The first thing we'll do is install the kickstand. Start by removing the 2 pre-installed bolts using the Allen key provided. Once those bolts are removed, slide the kickstand behind the frame and use the bolts to mount the kickstand to the frame. The reason we're doing this first is it's going to come in handy later when we're putting on the front wheel. Next, we need to turn the headset 180 degrees. Now, it may be a little tight right out of the box. We're going to go ahead and loosen the stem side bolts. And if it's still a little tight, we're going to have to loosen the top cap bolt. The first thing we'll need to do is remove the rubber bolt cover from the top. Make sure to keep this somewhere safe as we will be reinstalling it throughout the process. Once the stem can swivel forward using minimal force, rotate it 180 degrees so it is facing the front. Make sure it's lined up perpendicular with the front forks. When retightening the bolts, tighten the top bolt first, then tighten the side bolts. Next, we'll remove the faceplate and get ready to install the handlebars. Once you have the handlebars up, use the white crosshairs to center the handlebars. Once the handlebars are centered, start by hand tightening a few of the faceplate bolts. Once you got some of those bolts started, it's time to tighten up all bolts. When doing so, make sure to utilize an X pattern, keeping an even amount of pressure across the entire faceplate. Once all the bolts are securely in place, jostle the handlebars to make sure that they don't move. Next, we're going to grab the front fork quick release skewer from our accessories box and start by removing the nut and the small spring. When you go to reinstall the small spring, remember that the smaller end goes towards the forks. Next, we're going to install the skewer through the front axle. Make sure the skewer handle is on the opposite side from the disc brake. Once the skewer is installed, we're going to replace the small spring and the nut. Now that those are in place, go ahead and lift up the bike, sliding the front wheel into the dropouts. When installing the front wheel, make sure that the brake calipers are lined up with the discs. Then, we'll tighten the quick release skewer. It may take a couple adjustments to find the right amount of pressure. Next, we'll install the saddle. Start by opening the seat post quick release. Slide the seat post down into the seat post tube past the minimum insertion distance. You may need to tighten the seat post quick release to get your saddle to stay in place. Next, we'll install the pedals. As we mentioned, they are labeled one for the left side and one for the right side, so find the right pedal for your side, and you can use the included 15mm wrench to tighten those pedals up. Remember, both the pedals tighten when turned towards the front wheel. Repeat the same steps for the other side. Next, we'll install the front fender and front light. Start by removing the pre-installed bolt on the front fork arch. Next, slide the front fender into place. With the front fender in place, slide the bolt through the front light and the fender and tighten the bolt into the front fork arch. At this point, it's a good idea to adjust the front fender up into the front fork arch. That way we have clearance for the tires. Finish tightening the bolt and adjust the front headlight to a 45-degree angle. Next, we'll install the front fender support arms. Start by removing the pre-installed bolts. Next, thread the bolt through the front fender support arm. Once it's secured, repeat the same steps for the other side. Next, it's time to install the rear reflector. Start by removing the pre-installed nuts. Place the bolts through the appropriate slots. And use the included wrenches to tighten it to the rear rack. Well, now the bike is fully assembled and pretty much ready to roll, but before we do that, let's go over a few quick tips. To remove the battery, use the key, putting it into the unlock position, and then you can pull the battery out. You don't need the key to put the battery back into the frame. All you need to do is seat the bottom part of the battery, and then snap the battery into place. Removing the battery allows you to charge it on or off bike. Regardless of if you're charging on the bike or off the bike, you're going to want to plug the charger into the wall first, then plug the appropriate end of the charger into the battery. You'll see a red light when the battery is charging, and once the battery is fully charged, that red light will turn to green, letting you know that you're ready to roll. To turn the bike on, press and hold the power button, and you'll see the screen come to life. To change your pedal assist levels, press the mode button. There are 3 riding modes on the GoVelo. To turn on the front lights, press and hold the light button. The lights will come on and you'll see a light icon on the display. To use the twist throttle, grab the throttle, pull it back to supply power to the motor. Before you ride, this is also a good time to make sure that your front headlight is adjusted to a 45-degree angle. The GoVelo also has 7 gears. To go up a gear, press your thumb into the SIS index thumb shifter. To go down a gear, press the paddle away from you. Before you take off, it's always a good idea to make sure that your front tire is straight. Once you're rolling, you can cruise through the neighborhood by either using pedal assist or just use the throttle. And no matter what you do, from all of us at GoPowerBikes, we hope that you have fun. Thank you again for purchasing the GoVelo from GoPowerBikes. If you have any questions for us, please reach out to us at GoPowerBike.com.